Guys, Justin Morris with Freedom Wave. In this video, I want to talk about sharing your story and why your story is so important and so valuable to really marketing your business correctly and successfully. So first, let me tell you a little bit about my story. I have a few different versions of my story that I tell people depending on who I'm talking to and depending on how long I have to communicate with them. So in this situation, you guys have me for as long as I want the video to keep going. So I'll probably tell the long version of my story. And I do have a 30-second version of my story also. So if I just kind of come across someone at the grocery store and I want to tell them a quick story about my business, I can share that with them. So the story that I generally tell for people that are interested in my digital marketing company, or I think they may be interested, maybe they own their own business and I think that I might be able to work with them. The story that I usually share with them is a story of what I would call like the reluctant hero. And I think that the hero story or the reluctant hero story is a really good story for this kind of business. It's a very good story for most businesses. Now, as you come up with your own story, the story has to be true, okay? So I'm not making up any kind of lie here. It's actually what has really happened to me. And whatever business you're involved in, I'm sure there's some kind of backstory to it, some kind of background to it. And that's kind of what we're doing is we're sharing that background with people, we're sharing the backstory, and we're kind of just taking them through our journey very quickly because it's much easier for people to remember a story than it is a bunch of details. So before I share my story, let me just say this. Before I used to tell people my story, the way that I would try to get them interested in my digital marketing business is I would say, oh yeah, I started a digital marketing company and wow, I'm like super good at search engine optimization and paid per click advertising. I don't know if you've ever seen funnels, but I do something like a little bit different with funnels and it really helps out the SEO, and we do lead pages and we can do email marketing campaigns and it's super awesome. So, if you need a website or you need any of that stuff, website, social media marketing, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, whatever you need, my firm could probably help you with that. And that's how I shared my company with people. And people left like, wow, lots of big words. I have no idea what Justin was talking about, And so it was not an effective way to share my business with other people. And you may have a business that's not, of course, not digital marketing, but that could happen as well in your business if you're not really sharing your story the right way so that people are attracted to you. So the important thing about this story that we create, but the story that we share with people is that it attracts people to us. And it's easy for people to share that story with other people. So when I was telling people that, I'm really good with paid per click advertising and search engine optimization and sales funnels and lead pages and SEO, they had a very hard time sharing that with other people. So if they ran into a friend that they thought needed a website and they were like, yeah, I know this Justin guy, he does a bunch of stuff like computer, he's like a real techie guy, right? And that's what they would say. And I don't even consider myself a techie guy at all. So they had my story all wrong because I wasn't sharing it with them the correct way. So this is my story. I have been a business owner, a small business owner for the last 25 to 27 years. And so I've always had a real passion for business. And with my own personal business, kind of watching it grow, I had a real passion to mentor others and help other people with their businesses to help them grow as well. My business that I started 26, 27 years ago was martial arts and fitness. And we did a really good job in my area. We have many students and clients in the fitness and martial arts in my area. And a lot of people in my area know me because of that. And so I started branching out, helping other martial arts schools and fitness centers with their marketing and with their websites on just a really small scale. And on February 10th of 2017, I was ice fishing. And if you live in a warm climate somewhere, you might not even know what ice fishing is, but I'll show you a video. Video right here, boom.
I kind of walked with your head on the ice, I kind of did it on purpose. I just wanted you to get, close time. That's right. We are all about the drama. We're here at the Bronx
Okay, so that's what ice fishing is. We're standing on the ice catching fish, all right? So February 10th of 2017, I was ice fishing and I slipped on the ice and my feet went up in the air and the back of my head hit the ice, and I have been kind of extremely messed up physically ever since then. So after I hurt myself, I was in bed for about 3 to 4 months straight. Since then, I have really been unable to do anything physical at all, where my whole life has been physical fitness, martial arts, kickboxing, jiu-jitsu. I'm going to take you guys to my jiu-jitsu school in one of the next videos to show you. But anyways, my whole life has been fitness. And so for 2 years now, I have been very inactive. I haven't been able to do anything because of this head injury. Cognitively, I'm fine, so don't worry, I won't mess up your websites or anything like that. So cognitively, I'm good. My memory's good, but just physically, it's been very challenging for me to do anything. So I have had this passion for business, and I've had this passion to help other businesses. I've played around a little bit with digital marketing, played around a little bit with web design. But for the last couple of years with this injury, I've had so much downtime. I have just been laser focused on helping businesses succeed. And also my personal income as a martial artist instructor and a fitness instructor has gone way down. I can't do one-on-one lessons with people anymore. I used to teach big seminars. I'm no longer doing that. And so because I'm not doing those things, my income was going down. I recognized that. And I felt, there has to be some kind of purpose for why I hurt myself, why I'm unable to do these physical activities anymore that I love so much. And so I kind of was able to renew my purpose and my passion. And I just, like I said, just stayed laser focused on business and marketing. And in that 2 years, I've been able to help some businesses earn an additional $1 million in their company through my marketing agency and through my marketing plans and strategies. That's the story that I tell people. Now, I gave you guys the long version, right? I even threw a little extra video in there of fishing and stuff like that. So I gave you guys the long version. And I have sometimes I share that really quick, 30 seconds. I'll run into somebody, hey, how's it going? Yeah, and some people in my community will know, hey, I heard you hurt yourself and things like that. Or sometimes I'll just share it with people. Yeah, I hurt myself really bad. But since then I've had a lot of downtime, but I've used that time to really focus on not just my business, but helping other businesses as well. And I started a digital marketing company, and I've helped a lot of people earn a lot of money with their businesses. I like to share that I'm helping other people, not just myself. So I don't want to say, yeah, I've helped myself earn all this money, because it's a little better for people to hear that I've helped others, because then they might say, oh, I wonder if Justin could help me as well. So there's some key points to that story. At the beginning, I called it my reluctant hero story. Reluctant hero because I've become kind of a hero for these small businesses that need help, that don't understand digital marketing, and they don't understand a lot of the things that their website needs and stuff like that. And so I've kind of become a hero to these businesses. Reluctant because it came from an injury. It's not something I really wanted to do. I wasn't expecting it, but it came into my life, and this is who I am now. Kind of like a great reluctant hero story is, if you've ever seen the movie Braveheart. I could get this wrong, but I think the main character, played by Mel Gibson, is William Wallace. And so William Wallace is this person who was, if that's his name, watch the movie and let me know if I have it right. I haven't watched it in a while. But so William Wallace is this person who's just a regular guy, happy family, kind of just wants to stay out of trouble, isn't really looking to get in the way of really anything. And his wife and his family, if I can remember the movie correctly, were murdered by the government, I guess you'd say. And so William Wallace, he launched this, he went after the government and launched this whole thing for freedom, and he became this hero to many, right? And gave people freedom. So that's a great movie to watch. I haven't seen it in a while. I'm explaining it all wrong, so I apologize for explaining it wrong. But if you've seen the movie, I think it's going to make sense to you. Say, oh, that's the reluctant hero story. Yeah. At my martial arts school, my story was always one of a leader, someone who had gone before people and brought back knowledge, and they are very interested in obtaining that knowledge. And so I started my martial arts school at a really young age. I dropped out of high school to pursue my passion for martial arts and fitness. And at that time, I traveled all over the world. And I came back from my travels and opened up my martial arts studio. People really relate to that. Now, I don't say relate to that story, but it means a lot to them. So when they've trained with me in the martial arts, they've always, kind of bragged about who I am as an instructor. Wow, my instructor, Justin, Justin Morris, he trained with this person and that person, and all these legends in the martial arts. And, he gave up, 10 years of his life to learn this stuff and brought it back to us into this community. And that's kind of like the leader going out and learning all these things and coming back and teaching others. That's another story. As my story has changed, my martial arts school has gone down a little bit. The numbers have gone just a little bit down because they don't tell that story anymore. Like, you don't hear that story as much. People used to say, wow, Justin's like this really skinny guy. He was skinny, right? Like, now I've gained a lot of weight since this injury, but I used to be this little skinny guy and I could beat anybody on the mat and traveled all over the world learning jiu-jitsu and came back and taught these secret awesome techniques, and people don't share that story as much as they used to. So not having that story right now because of this injury I sustained has hurt my martial arts school. So the story, it's very important to your business, So what I want to encourage you to do is come up with, and this is going to be kind of like your homework, come up with what is a story that you can share to people to get them interested in your business, right? There are times when a very specific story like mine might not work, right? And so I had somebody recently, and they might even watch this video, but I had somebody in like a health and wellness organization, and their story was just so personal that they felt like it just wouldn't be ethical for them to share it because their story involved not just them, but other people that they helped, and that they just didn't feel it was ethical. So there could be every once in a while, a small percentage of you that can't share a story like that. And I want to say that another story is also integrity and longevity. So if you're willing to stick with a business for a very long time and you have the utmost integrity and high standards and good moral values and character, people will share that with other people, and that will start to kind of become your story. I'm working with a company right now that's like that. They're a company that works with a tree service. And it's trees. They don't really have a story like mine. They don't really have that reluctant hero story, or we haven't figured out the story that we can share with other people. There probably is a story there somewhere, but we haven't really figured it out yet. But what they do have is they have, 30 years in business, high standards, high integrity. The challenging thing with that is it's going to take a long time to build that. So if you can develop a story quickly in your business, it's something that people will share. Now, as we look at our stories with social media marketing and with internet marketing, what we want to do is constantly share bits and pieces of those stories all over on the internet. So on our website, a homepage should have our story. The first thing you see, should be, all the information about your company, and then boom, there's a story, right? Facebook, as you're sharing things on Facebook, everything should kind of be linked back to your story. Your Instagram, your pictures, they can all kind of link to your story. So it all kind of makes sense because people will follow a story. I was watching another training by a digital marketing master, and he was talking about the Kardashians. So I have a feeling that everybody watching this knows who the Kardashians are. You might not like them, right? So I'm not like a big fan of the Kardashians, but you're going to know who they are. They're $1 billion business, and really all they have is a story. They had a TV show, and their TV show didn't get that many views. I mean, I have videos on YouTube that got almost as many views as the Kardashian TV shows at time. I have friends that have YouTube shows that do way more than the Kardashians did in their TV show. So it's not just their TV show, but it's how they portrayed themselves on social media with, Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, and they just kept telling the story where they obtained so many followers. Paris Hilton is one also. Paris Hilton is somebody that I never liked. I don't know why. It's just Paris Hilton. It just, to me, seemed like some rich girl that I probably wouldn't like, but I saw some of her stuff on Instagram, And as I started following her, she seemed a lot more relatable. And I don't follow her all the time right now, and I don't follow her a lot right now, but she did a great job of sharing her story and obtaining followers. And a lot of things with a business is obtaining that loyal following, and the way to do it is through a story. So the homework for now is to come up with a story and think about it like a movie. You should have the backstory. So my backstory is that I was a successful martial arts instructor, right? And then we have something that happened to us a lot of times. If you're thinking about the reluctant hero story, there's generally a cause, right? Like the cause and effect, something that happened, right? For me, I hit my head. And then what happened was my income was going down, and I needed to find a way to increase my income to support my family. But not only did I need to do that, but I felt this need and desire to help other people, to help businesses, to help people just like you that are watching this right now. And that's how Freedom Wave was born. That's how Freedom Wave started, out of that whole story there. So that's how I want you guys to think about your stories. And your stories are obviously going to be very different than mine. There might not be any crazy thing that happened in your story. You might not have some significant injury or some significant problem, but it could just be a passion that you have. You know, if you have a real passion to help others some way, there's probably a reason behind that passion. So dig deep and figure out, what was that reason? You know, why did you decide to have that passion? You know, I have a friend who owns a skateboard company, and think like, you know, what's his story? He just loves skateboarding. You know, I was talking to him, he said, you know, I just feel free when I'm on my skateboard. This guy's like 40 plus years old right now, still skateboards every single day. And he said, you know, I feel free when I'm on the skateboard. It's the only time in my life where I don't, you know, I have no stress. I feel freedom. I love the feeling of the wheels beneath my feet, I guess. And I have this freedom feeling, you know, and I want to share this with other people because I want other people to feel the joy that I felt with this wooden board with 2 wheels attached to it. It's such a simple thing, but it's given me such positive energy in my life. That's his story, right? I remembered that. If he would have told me all about the kind of wood he used to make his skateboards and, you know, why the wheels are better and all this stuff, I wouldn't have, or what tricks he learned, I wouldn't have remembered any of that. But I remembered that he shared that passion with me. So, okay guys, enough with this video. I want you guys to get on with creating that story, okay? Create the story, write it down, and it is important to have a long version of the story that you can share on a video, a short version that you can share on a video, or you can share with someone in passing, so you can do a 30-second snapshot of your story. Don't make it too complicated, like I probably did. Also, your story should be something that you can also type up, so you can send out in emails. Those things, they're going around so much on the internet, they're not as attractive anymore. Seems like people are skipping through some of those, but I still recommend it. Have something where you can type it up, have your long version of your story like I told you guys, and then your short 30-second so you can tell someone in passing or during a quick phone call. All right, you guys, with that, once again, I'm Justin Morris. I'm happy to have you on board with the Freedom Hacker course. And our next video, we're going to be talking about, I'm going to continue my story with a quick video where I talk about Plan A incomes. And we're going to actually head out of my place right now and hit the road as we go and do that. So let's get on to the next video right now with Plan A incomes.